Okay. I would have loved to be finishing the year off holding my Romantic Times Book Review magazine for December 2016, but obviously since they ended in July of 2016, that's it, no more. So, hey, it's the Dealey's Book Series channel. I'm Christina, Kristina. This is where I read books and talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And someone said to me the other day, that I had no business doing this, that I wasn't the writer of the book. I read books and then I talk to you about it. I read the book and I talk to you about it. Period. End. I give my views on the books. That's what I do. No fancy smancy stuff here. So anyways, this is December 2016. We have my gal pal here, Carrie Author, Winter Halo. The humanoid super soldiers known as the D-Tech were almost eradicated by the war. Ever since Tiger has tried to live her life peacefully in hiding, but in wake of her discovery, the Central City's children are being kidnapped and experimented on. Tiger's conscience won't let her look the other way. The key to saving the children's lives within the walls of a pharmaceutical company called Winter Halo. But as she learns more about the facility, Tiger's mission is derailed by a complication. Winter Halo's female security guards are being systematically attacked by an unknown force. Now Tiger must summon all her gifts to stop those responsible for both atrocities, no matter the cost to her. Another lady I like a lot, and we'll be doing her books later this year. Paige Tyler Unleashed. Lacey Barton can't deny her crazy attraction to Alex Trevino, but that doesn't mean she has time for gorgeous SWAT officer. She's hell-bent on discovering who's behind the brutal dogfight, sending countless mauled animals to her veterinary clinic. The trail leads Lacey to a ring of vicious drug dealers, and suddenly she's in way over her head, right smack in the middle of a SWAT takeout. Okay, Chrissy, picture. Dragon Spawn, Eileen Wilkes. I am gathering up all the Lupi, Lupi books, and we're going to go through those. We're going to probably June, July, August of this year. We're going to go through all of those. There's 16. I'm slowly collecting. I had 8, and I need to get the final 8 to go through them all. It's sort of like a Patricia Big series. We'll talk about it when we get there. Eileen Wilkes, Dragon Spawn. This is book 13 in the series, so we'll be reading this probably September. Lily learns she was right. Tom Wing, a powerful sorcerer allied with the old one who keeps trying to take over the world, is still alive. But that's not the worst. Wing is a dragon spawn, the product of a botched hatching given a human form in attempt to keep him from going mad. A failed attempt. Meanwhile, Lily's husband, Rule, is facing a challenge to death. Then there's the possible reappearance of another sorcerer, but none of that matters when the enemy strikes out of nowhere in the worst possible way. Lily must face a nightmare and return to a place she never wanted to see again, the place where she died. I keep calling this Bed Bath & Beyond, but it's not. It's Dead Bath & Beyond. The New York, Kate Bonner feels like nothing can spoil her perfect day off, sailing Lake Ontario with her good friend and lawyer Seth Sanders. Then she turns into her ex-boss Josh on the dock. It was never smooth sailing with Josh, and Kate is only too happy to get away from him as he makes a scene. Unfortunately, the next day, her unpleasant former employer is found drowned in a bathtub at the bed and breakfast in Victoria Square. Who would pull the plug on Josh? When an autopsy reveals lake water, not bath water, in his lung, Kate quickly finds herself in over her head. She'll need to race to find the killer before her business and freedom go down the drain. The Burning Page. This one looks interesting. Genevieve Cogman. Librarians by Irene has professional standards to maintain. Standards that absolutely do not include making hasty, unplanned escapes through a burning, besieged building. But when the gateway back to your quarters dramatically malfunctions, one must improvise. After fleeing a version of the revolutionary France astride a dragon, also known as her assistant Kai, Irene soon discovers she's not the only one affected. Gates back to the library are malfunctioning across a multitude of worlds, creating general havoc. She and Kai are tasked with a mission to St. Petersburg Winter Palace to retrieve a book which will help restore order. However, such plans rarely survive first contact with the enemy, particularly when the enemy is Traitor Albrecht, a nightmare figure bent on the library's destruction. They better get to it. Ah, lady we all know and love, the teas. This is the Crack Cackle Club. We'll usually do the tea clubs. Laura Child's egg drop dead. Maintaining good personal relationship with their suppliers is one of the secrets of Cackleberry Club's success. So Suzanne doesn't mind going out to Mike Mullen's dairy farm to pick up some wheels of cheese. She's looking forward to the nice visit with the mild-mannered bee farmer before heading back to her hectic kitchen. But when she arrives, Mike is nowhere to be found. The moaning of his cows leads her to look in the barn, where she discovers a blood-curdling sight. The farmer's dead, apparently. Apparently not everyone was as fond of Mike as she was. Dead Texas Heat. Jerry Bartlett. Cassidy Calhoun can't believe she's the secret daughter of an oil billionaire. This small-town Texas girl with student loans by the barrel has never gotten a thing she didn't earn for herself. The terms of her late father's will say Cassidy and her newfound spoiled half-siblings must work a year at the family's floundering business before they inherit a dime. Too bad the only thing Kathy knows about oil is that it makes the junker she drives go. Mason McKenzie, the evaluator for their test, will help her get up to speed. Oh, will he? Mason is a boot-wearing, truck-driving Houston hottie who runs Calhoun Petroleum's rival. Would he be interested in sabotaging instead? And E.J. Cooperman, spouse on Haunted Hill. Allison's ex-shady ex needs to use her haunted guest house as a hideout in the latest okay. Where Allison Kirby's ex-husband goes, trouble follows. This time, unfortunately, he's brought the trouble right to her doorstep. On the run from a business deal gone bad, Stephen, a.k.a. the Swine, owes some scary people a staggering sum of money. No need to panic, though. He's sell Allison's Jersey Shore guest house to pay them off. What a creep. And we've seen this book quite often. Pros and Cons, a magical bookshop. We just did libraries. That's why it looked familiar to me. We just did libraries and we did books, retails. Libraries, and then we did retail bookshops. So, check it out. October in Cascade Springs means tourists are pouring in for the annual Food and Wine Festival, and Daisy hopes to draw those crowds to the store. She asked Violet and the local writing group, the Red Inkers, to give a reading of the works of Edgar Allan Poe in the shop's back garden to entertain the revelers. Everyone eagerly agrees. Yet their enthusiasm is soon extinguished when Violet discovers one of the writers dead during the event. Really? Edgar Allan Poe to cheer people up? Ugh. How about a cowboy? Lindsay McKenna, Wind River Rancher. Not so long ago, Reese Lockhart was commanding a company of Marines. Now his life is spiraling out of control. The Barcy Ranch outside Jackson Hole, Wyoming may be his latest chance to save himself. Shailene Crawford, an Afghanistan veteran herself, knows all too well the demons of PTSD. That's why she's determined to turn her family's cattle ranch into a place where wounded warriors can work, find a home, and rebuild their souls. See what happens. I did this. I had it. Okay. Alexandra Ivy, Kill Without Shame. I have quite a few of her books. Lucas St. Clair, prestigious family, had a political future nearly planned out for him, one that didn't include his high school sweetheart, Maya Raymond. Under their pressure, Lucas gave her up, but since surviving captivity, he's changed man and a crucial member of the ARES security. When he discovers a dead man clutching a picture of Maya that bears a threatening message, his fiercest protection instincts kick in, and he knows he must protect her, and she has never forgiven him for what he did, so they're gonna have to work through their conflicts. Mr. Griffin, Curtains of Death. Curtain of Death. January, 2 WAC leave officers club in Munich, and 4 Soviet NKGB agents kidnapped them at knife point in the parking lot and shoved them into the back of an ambulance. That is the agent's first mistake and their last one. One of WAC's, a blonde improbable named Claudette Colbert, works for the new Directorate of Central Intelligence, and 3 of the men end up dead and the 4th wounded. The incident, however, will send shockwaves ripping up and down the line and have major repercussions, not only for her but her boss, James Crowley, Chief DCI Europe, and everyone involved is still evolving enterprise. But although the Germans may have been defeated, Crowley and his company are on the front lines of an entirely different kind of war. Lisa Maxwell, A Pinch of Poison. Good deeds build good character, and good characters what the Haverly School for Young Ladies is all about. Lady Phoebe, with tireless assistance of Eva, has organized a luncheon at the school to benefit wounded veterans of the war, encouraging the students to participate in the cooking and baking. But too many cooks do more than spoil the broth. They add up to a recipe disaster when the school's head mistress is poisoned. We've just finished reading this series a month ago, and if you go watch all my videos on reading the Stephanie Lawrence books, we did all of them. We started with Devil Sinister and all his brothers, and we worked our way through the Bastion Club and the Black Cobras and all the other ones, and we ended with the Buccaneers. I call it the Buccaneers. What does she call it? The Adventurers Quartet. I call it the Buccaneers. It's 4 books. It's 4 brothers. They all take place at the same time, and I just go off in every single video about the fact that they're all going on the precise. If the conversation had on Monday in one book, it has to happen on Monday in the next book too. It's just awesome. Widely known as the Lord of Pirates, Royd Frobisher expects to execute the final stage of the rescue mission his brothers have begun, but what he does not expect is to be pressured into taking Isabel Carmichael, his childhood sweetheart, former Handfast Bride, and current business partner, with him. And then she reveals she's keeping a huge secret from him. You must go check this out. You must go watch the whole video. Read a couple of chapters, we talk about the book. It's just awesome. I just love this series. And there's a couple of rants about the one thing that did go wrong with that series. One book. Waited 20 years for the book. Anyway. And our final book is Julia London's Wild Wicked Scott. Born into riches and groomed in English lechery, Margaret Armstrong didn't belong in a Scottish chieftain's devil-may-care world. 3 years ago, she fled their marriage and convenience and hasn't looked back, except to relive the moments spent in wild, rugged Aaron Mackenzie's passionate embrace. But as their respective countries' fragile unity threatens to unravel, Margaret must return to her husband to uncover his role in the treachery before her family can be accused of. A naked guy on the cover. And that is the end of Flashback Monday for December 2016. I hope you have a good one. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.